Well, hey, welcome to Throttle Power. I've got a pretty exciting video. I'm really stoked about what I picked up at the model contest that I just went to here in Louisville, Kentucky. I realized that I didn't show what I got. It was kind of an odd day. Found some cool stuff. It was kind of a, let me start over. When I say an odd day, it was kind of an odd swap meet. I've been doing this thing my whole life, going to a lot of swap meets. I'm not going to get into it. I purchased a kit. Like 3 or 4 hours later, the guy insisted he had to have it back. I think because he thought he was going to sell it for more because someone wanted to give him more money. I don't know what the story was. It's a long story. Kind of upset that I let the guy have the kit back. And the other odd thing was I'd never been to a swap meet that had so many Johan kits. There were Johan kits everywhere. It was amazing. I didn't get in on any of that. I just kind of hung out with some friends. Like I said, it was a great day. I had a wonderful time, but just kind of a strange and unusual day. But I do want to share with you guys what I got. I did get some cool stuff, some cool finds, and even how I came up with this big mammoth kit right here for a great price. This kit here, I'll turn the camera around and open it up and show you. It's a Ming 350 kit. If you've never heard of this kit, it's because it's going on 11 years old. But it's a beautiful kit. I remember buying this kit brand new when it came out 10, 11 years ago at the hobby shop for pretty close to 90 bucks. And you know how inflation has been and stuff. But anyway, the guy had 75 bucks on it. I saw it, and I says, wow, I haven't seen one of these in a long time. How'd you get it? He says, oh, I bought it new a long time ago, blah, blah, blah. We talked about it. He even told me where he bought it and stuff. It was pretty cool. Talked to the guy for a while. I said, man, you won't have no problem selling that. And the end of the day, I was leaving, and the guy called me over. He says, do you know that no one looked at this kit at all? This kit here. And I said, you gotta be kidding me. He goes, no. I said, did you take the white sleeve off? He says, no, I didn't. He says, no one even looked at it. Well, this white sleeve comes off, and you see the box art, and that's the box art, and I'll show you here in a minute. He says, I was really disappointed. I thought I'd sell it. He says, I want to get rid of it. He says, you showed some interest. Do you want to buy it? And so we struck up a deal, and he had 75 bucks on it. I gave $70 for it. That's all I had on me, actually, when I was walking out the door. I had like 72 or $3, and he says, I'll let you keep your couple dollars there, because I like had my wallet showing, man, this is all I got. I don't have 75 bucks, because he wanted 75 for it, and it's well worth it. It's well worth a whole lot more than 75. But I got this. I got some stuff in here that I'm really anxious to show you. Then stopped at the hobby shop and picked up some cool stuff, because usually when there's a show in town, a lot of times the hobby shop owner will drop off flyers and say, if you bring this flyer in, you get extra 10% off your purchase. So when I went into the hobby shop after the model show, it was absolutely packed in there. I'm like, wow, this place is super busy. So he did great business, and the hobby shop's not far from where that location is. But if you haven't seen the video, go back and look at it. It's probably the one just before this. The Derby City Modelers. It was a swap meet, and then they had a show. And what I mean by that, a show and shine, is they didn't actually have a model contest. They just had a model show inside of the swap meet. So you could bring one model, you could bring 10,000 models and put it on display for free. $5 to get in the door. Got swap meet all day long, gobs of buys. People were buying and buying and buying. But anyway, enough of me running my jaws. I want to get the camera turned around and show you what's in this bag, because I am super stoked, and I want to show you what I got at the hobby shop on the way home. But let's check this out. My order from Green Stuff World. I love this place. They sell kind of my favorite chrome paint. The Revell chrome spray is wonderful, but they sell a chrome paint that is just excellent. And anytime I need more chrome paint, I always order from Green Stuff World, or try to pick it up at the hobby shop if they have it. And another thing neat about Green Stuff World is they sell a lot of green stuff. And this is the stuff I was trying to find in the other video on my USAC update video. But I picked up a lot of foliage for the Revell 68 Dodge Dart kit that I'm building. I'm going to put it in a diorama. But all this foliage I picked up, which is really cool. They got a lot of neat stuff. Go to Green Stuff World and check them out. No, I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I bought all this stuff. But I always get my money's worth when I do an order. I buy a whole lot of stuff that I'm going to need for the next year or so. Get it all in one shot. But here's that chrome paint I was talking about. They have two different kinds of chrome paint. They have the one that you brush on and the one that you airbrush. And it does say airbrush right there. So they got that. So I needed some more chrome paint. So that's one of my favorite chrome paints. And I'm going to try another color, which is pretty cool. I didn't know they had. Tin plate chrome metal. I'm kind of anxious to try that. And something else I got from them, which really intrigued me, is, and this is in a glass bottle. This is like really cool. It's called Spider Shroom, or whatever that word is. it's supposed to shoot out and do spider webbing. But look at it, is that cool or what? That is so neat. So I'm really anxious to try this. I haven't heard anything about it or read anything about it, and I thought I'd give it a shot. Some other projects I'm working on is I love to do like medieval stuff, or maybe skull stuff, or get some cool shifters or things like that. They had all these different little skulls, and you could use them for shifters or whatever. I thought I'd pick a whole bunch up. It's not much for a package and shoot when you're ordering, what the heck. So I picked those up. Here's some more little resin skulls. I just kind of bought one of every skull they had. And of course this is smaller stuff, but it's really neat. I'll have to open this up sometime and show you guys. But you can go on their website and see, but all these skulls are different. Each package is completely different. And then something else I got were these little skeleton guys. Skeletons. But that's my green stuff order that I wanted to show you before last week. These are little skeletons. And I've got a project I'm wanting to do in 24/25 scale and do a whole bunch of skeletons. So I'm looking for someone out there that prints 24/25 scale skeletons. I've been collecting them for several years for this project, and it's taken me forever to get one skeleton at a time. I think I have maybe 10. I need about 40 3D printed skeletons. Well, these are little ones. These are 35th scale. So these are going to work as to dibble and dabble. A few in there as like little kids or little baby skeletons. So I picked those up. They are tiny. A whole lot smaller. So that's the green stuff order. And of course, I showed this in the last video. That came from the hobby shop. And I also want to show you what I got at the hobby shop, which is pretty cool. Besides the model contest that I just came back from. You guys got to check that video out. There was a lot of cool stuff. It was a great swap meet, great show. But I picked this up, the Lock and Load. I'm anxious to try this. Let's see, how's it open up? It's magnetized. I had it open. There we go. Oh, it's backwards. A Lock and Load set. It's like a pencil set for weathering. And you know me, I'm all into weathering. And then kind of get a little booklet on what to do and how to do it, and gives you some tips and tricks. But I'm all into weathering. I love my pencil set I have, but I wanted to try this Lock and Load set. It's a little bit different design of pencil, and you put one lead in there, and you can sharpen it a little bit finer and stuff. And no, I'm gonna try it. It was interesting. Thought I'd try it and give it a shot. What the heck? But the ammo Lock and Load, we're gonna try that out. Also for my diorama I'm working on for the USAC build, I've had this for a while, but I'm going to try this guy. I've never used him yet. It's a corrugated roller. Put your metal in there and you roll it out. And I'm going to do a metal corrugated fence that is going to kind of go around the USAC group build that I'm working on. And something else that you saw in the intro, they're sitting over there. You're going to think I'm sponsored by Vallejo, but I'm not. I picked up 4 more cans of the black primer. Why do I keep buying this? Because it's priced right. It is basically only $1 or $2 more than your other cans of primer that are model paints. This is model paints too, but it's like your Tamiya model paint, Mr. Hobby, all those. And you get probably 3 times the amount for about $1 or $2 more. So I've been buying this up. In fact, the guys in the club have been teasing me because they can't ever get any black primer spray paint. And I think this is probably my 8th can that I have purchased, because I bought 4 more probably a couple weeks ago. But picked all this stuff up on the way home from the model contest. And the other thing I got at the show is this big mama right here, the Ming Ford F350 Super Duty Crew Cab. And this kit, this is a white sleeve that's on it that comes on the box, but this kit came out in 2014. So basically now this kit is 11 years old. Man, where does the time go? It's an absolutely gorgeous kit. It's an all brand new tooling back in 2014 by Ming. Ming also, if you're looking for a smaller one for a whole lot less truck, this is the 24 scale. Ming did a 35th scale also. That's the exact same truck, just a little bit different box art. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, the molding is beautiful. Everything about it is absolutely gorgeous. If you can ever find one at a reasonable price, pick it up. Like I said, I got it for what, 70 bucks? Talking about in the intro, but just couldn't beat it. Couldn't beat it. The other thing I got, at the swap meet is this thing here. I got a couple things in here to show you. This was pretty interesting, and the guy I got it off of is a modeler that does some unusual stuff. So I always like to see him at a swap meet table, because he has projects that he's worked on for years and years, and sometimes he'll just kind of give up and pass them on to someone else that might finish it. But for 10 bucks, what this is, it says CUDA Truck Pro Drag. But this thing is really neat. It's all parts right now. It's a complete, got the nose all as one piece. So it's kind of like a flip nose now. But this is it. Very interesting piece. It's kind of made it into a pickup truck. And the first thing I thought of was gasser. But that nose goes on perfect. Kind of have a little flip nose. Man, I could do this as a gasser, man. Have this thing just up in the air as a gasser. And I don't even have to worry about finishing it. I could put, just make it all ratty or something. Because like he said, it's going to take a lot of work to completely... Oh, there's been so much work done to this. It's going to take a lot to get everything to come out to where it doesn't ghost through after you paint it. That's always the worst thing about doing all this different body work, is you'll get some lines that'll ghost through. And that's always happened to me. I get the perfect paint job, and that's the time when it goes through. If I get a little dirt in the paint job, I don't get any ghosting. But just something different. I thought that was pretty neat. I know not everyone's going to dig it, and I don't know if I'll ever finish it or whatever I'll do with it, but it's definitely a cool piece to have and something I can always go back to and mess with. And I always talk about slump busters. These are neat to have on the side when you kind of get burnt out on just working on the everyday model that's out on the shelf. You can go to something like this. The other thing I got, I was really stoked about this buy. It's a Johan 62 dart, and it's all there. It's in a bag, which is fine with me. I don't need the box because I want to build this. I've been looking for one of these darts. They're pretty readily available, I like the car because it's super ugly. You know, I'm a Mopar guy. And another thing I liked about this, it's one of my favorite colors, is kind of this old school green. And I know the camera's not going to really pick it up, but that green is absolutely gorgeous. And this whole thing is just baby butt smooth. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. But it's all there. The only thing missing out of this thing are the tires. The grill's in there. It's all there. Glass is nice. The bumpers are there. The tail lights are all in there. Of course, that's the underneath of it. The engine's in there. But, man, I showed this around like a newborn baby at the show. I showed everyone this thing. I was so proud of it. And everyone said that I showed it to, when I pulled it out, they go, wow, that color is so neat. You know what I'd do with that color? I said, what's that? Every single person said that they would clear it and then foil it and then display it like that. So it's kind of got that 60s vibe green. Just absolutely gorgeous. Really pretty car. Pretty color, neat kit. But yeah, I was really stoked about that. The Johan 62 Dart. And the other thing I picked up while I was up at the hobby shop after the show, they even put my name on it, hold it for me, is this is 35th scale. I picked up a German tow truck, another tow truck. If you remember, a few months ago when I was up at the hobby shop, I picked up a different tow truck. It was the US tow truck from MiniArt, 35th scale. So now I got both of them. These both just came out, and I thought these would be pretty cool. But don't poo-poo the 35 scale, guys. If you want to build some trucks, there is a ton of trucks to choose from in 35th scale from different model manufacturers, including a company called MiniArt. And a lot of car guys may not know about MiniArt. A lot of car guys may not know about the 35th scale trucks, but they're beautiful kits, and you can't go wrong with them. Well, what'd you think? Did you dig my buys? How do you think I did? Have you ever seen that Ming kit before? That Ming F350? It's a nice kit. It's a high dollar kit. I wouldn't pay $200-300 for it. Like I said, I come close to paying $90 for it 10, 11, 12 years ago when it came out. But did you dig the cuda truck? You could turn that into anything. I thought it was a neat piece. Like I said, those are slump busters where I just kind of have them around and I'll dibble and dabble with them here and there when I kind of get burnt out on the old same old kits. Did you like my little Johan Dodge Dart? I thought that was a pretty neat car. Did you like that green? That's one of my favorite greens. In glassware, I kind of like that light colored green. I love that green. But it was interesting how I showed that to everyone, and they said, every single person said the same thing. Man, I would just completely polish that body and clear it and then foil it, and then you're done with it. That's pretty cool. But we'll see you guys on the next video on Throttle Power.